everyone, it's Kathy and welcome back here in my craft room and back on my YouTube channel. It's Friday! Yay! I hope everybody's had a good week. It's been a very hectic week for me, to say the least. I got some new furniture and everything that's entailed. They don't haul off furniture anymore, so you have to pretty much clean out your entire area, and when it's just you and your husband, that can be quite a challenge, to say the least. But anyway, I'm waiting for my tablet to come up. When I started my tablet, I was ready to go live and then it did not come up, so I had to kind of regroup everything and wait just a minute. So I'm letting that come back up. You know, there's always technical issues every time we go live. But even though I can't see who's here yet, welcome in. We're going to have a really fun time today. And look, I can open it. After the 6th, I can actually open it and show you all of the beauties. And, you know, I used this one last week to make that pretty card, and everybody seemed like they really enjoyed that. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. This is going to be a very lighthearted, sort of whimsical Christmas card. Let's see, I got my tablet back up, so let's see if it will let me open up YouTube. That was my issue. I couldn't get YouTube to open. Aha! It looks like I am here. So now I'll be able to see who's in the room and who's here chatting with me. So let's see. New chat filters for creators and moderators. Okay. That was just some stuff. All right. Hey, Diane and Margie and, of course, my Jennifer and Jennifer Real. Welcome in. I'm so glad y'all are here today. If I missed anybody, forgive me. Like I was saying, it's been one of those weeks. So I wasn't feeling good the first part of the week. I've been having some stomach upset, and I'm not sure. I need to make a doctor's appointment. Jennifer keeps telling me that, but I will. I want to show you what we're going to do today, and I'm just going to hold this up for a minute. This little stamp set right here only has these 3 stamps in it, but I'm going to show you how versatile this stamp can be. So that's what we're going to be working with today. I'm just going to lay that catalog over there because I know y'all want to see the products more than just the pictures in the catalog. The first card that I'm going to do, I'm going to give away these cards that I make today. Not so much my prototype, but the ones that I make, we are going to give those away today. I think I'm going to hang on to these. There's some flaws in these, and you know, anytime you make your first card, there's always some issues with it. But let me flip y'all down so you can see. Let me pull that down so we can see exactly what we're doing. This is one of the cards we're going to make, and I'm going to show you a little bit closer up view of that stamp set. This is the stamp set, and you can see it's just the 3 stamps, and I'm going to be using all 3 of these in the card today. This one, of course, I use those beautiful little joy with the little elves, and I thought that was so stinking cute. And inside I used 'Tis the Season. That was one of the cards. The second card we're going to make, yeah, I have 2. I'm very ambitious today. The second one is using the little sleigh right here and the ho ho ho. I thought that was cute, and I thought pairing it with this paper was a really kind of a different take on it as well. So I hope that Marlene, oh, well, yay! Marlene had messaged me earlier and said she wasn't going to be here. She was a little bummed out because she wasn't. So I'm glad you made it. Sorry your appointment got canceled, but I'm glad you're here. So that's great. And I had another, Phyllis had messaged me earlier and told me that she wasn't going to be here either. Same reason, she had a doctor's appointment. Hey Vivian, welcome in. Thank y'all so much for tuning in today. It really does make my day when my friends show up, and y'all are like, you're my friends and family. Jennifer probably says, hey, wait a minute, I'm the one that's really family, but y'all are part of my crafting family, so I claim you. I thought that this was kind of a different take on using that specialty paper back there with the red. I don't know that I would have normally paired this together, but I like the way it looked once I did it. You know, it doesn't always have to match. Sometimes contrast is a good thing. So, but anyway, these are the 2 cards we're going to make. So I'm going to go ahead and get started because we got a lot of work to do. We got die cutting and we've got coloring and all kinds of stuff to do. So, again, welcome in. We're going to give away the ones we make today. These I'm going to stick over here out of my way, and I'm going to bring in the first one. We have a card base. Let me show you the dies that I used too. On that first card, we're going to use the stylish shape dies, and we're going to use those new deckled circle dies. If you have not seen these in the mini catalog, they're easily overlooked, because I didn't see them at first either. And I thought, when I got these, I was absolutely amazed at the size of these. This is your largest die, and look at this. And yes, it will go through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I was thinking, we're going to need a bigger machine. You know, we're going to need a bigger boat. No, this did work. It will go through because it will fit on, and this is how you can tell, it will fit on a platform. So as you can see, it will go in, and that platform's the same size as the one on the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Before we go any further, I just want to tell you, let's see, somebody new came in. Somebody new. Lisa Gordon, welcome in. Welcome in. Jennifer just let me know that you were here. Also, let Jennifer know as you come in whether you want to be in the drawing, so we don't have a hold up at the end of the live. And in order to be in the drawing, you have to be here at least halfway through the show. If you come in like halfway through, like 30 minutes in, you can still be in the drawing. If you come in the last 5 minutes, then you're probably not going to be in the drawing, because Jennifer will already have put all the names in. Hey, Cynthia. Indianapolis, Indiana. Wow. You're a far cry from me. I'm down here in the southwestern part of North Carolina, and we have had some terribly hot weather and some bad storms. Hopefully, I know we're supposed to get rain the weekend, but we've needed it. So anyway, that's what she's going to put the names in. So just let her know as you come in. All you have to do is let Jennifer know. Just say, yes, I want to be in the drawing, Cynthia, and she will put you in. And these are the cards we're making today, in case you wasn't in here and didn't see them. These are my 2 cards that I'm doing today. Aren't they pretty? I love the way they turned out. You know, you put a little specialty paper on something and dress it up, and that's just a wonderful thing. The other thing, before I get started on this card, I want to tell y'all something. I'm going to be doing a product review on this. Let me pull it out from behind my tablet, because I'm going to be using it today. But I wanted to show you. Some of y'all asked me last week about the My Sweet Petunia glue press, and of course I had to get one. When you get it, it comes in a little box like this. And no, this is not a Stampin' Up product, so it is, but Stampin' Up doesn't carry anything like this, so that's the reason why I'm reviewing it. And so far, I love it. When you open this up, you get your glue press. You get 1 bottle of, what did I do with that bottle of glue? Here it is. You get 1 bottle, and it's a good sized bottle of Nouveau Deluxe adhesive, and it's already filled with the I just lost my, there it goes. It comes filled with a bottle of glue already, and it has the fine tip tip on it, the fine tip applicator. I switched it, so the one that looks more grayish is your regular tip, and I switched the tops because this one is on the bottle and they have the fine tip on this bottle. So what I did, y'all know I love my art glitter glue, but if you're a Stampin' Up person and you love the Tombow glue, you can easily fill it up with your Tombow glue. Let me see if I can pop this out and I'll show you. This comes out relatively easy. And what I did is I put that extra fine tip on this bottle just by unscrewing it. It comes loose really easy. I filled it up with my art glitter glue, and then I just popped the whole thing into my gun. Now you have to make sure you pop it all the way down. I saw someone do a demo on it the other day. She didn't have it all the way into the gun, and it wasn't sitting in here properly. It was rocking all over the place, and it wasn't hitting against this little area under here. I don't know, you see the little silicone pad right there? That's what makes a little bead of glue underneath it and seals your glue when you're not using it. The only thing you'll have to do is pull off that little little bead of glue that will build up on the end of your tip. But then you're good to go. So far, I am loving it, and I will be using it today. So I'm going to sit it right over here out of my way, and y'all will see me use it as we make the cards. All right, let's go ahead and get started on the first card we're going to do. And for this one, all the supplies is going to be in the you're talking about for the glue press. It's not hot glue. This is regular glue. I am going to have a link. It won't be until after this. If I can find it on Amazon, I'll link it there. I don't think it's on Amazon yet, but I got mine from May Made It. And I do have an affiliate link with her, so I will list that down under the video after this is over. I thought this was ingenious. The fact that we have something, if you have trouble with your hands cramping, this push is so easy. You barely have to put pressure on it to get it to work. So far, I'm loving it. Okay, and I'm going to do a review. I'm actually going to do a review before too much longer on my YouTube channel and let y'all know exactly what I think of it, pros and cons and all that sort of thing. All right, I have a card base, and this is 8.5 by 5.5, and we're going to score it. Let me grab my scoreboard. I'm going to use my scoreboard on this. A lot of times I'll just use my trimmer, but I need to zoom out a little bit. I am way too close. That's a little bit better, isn't it? I'm going to put this in here on the 8.5 inch side, and I'm going to score this at 4 1/4. This is just going to be a standard card. No fancy folds today. I am going to be working on a fancy fold for tomorrow. I haven't done the video yet because, like I said, this week has been a crazy busy week for me. I forgot because it's been probably close to 15 years since I bought new furniture, and having to get that old furniture out, it was just me and my husband, and we're just not young people anymore. So we didn't have anyone to help us, so it was all on us. I was like, where's my Jennifer when I need her? Jennifer is always my little workhorse. She'll come down and help me with stuff, but she's 5 hours away, so it's not always easy for her to come. And she's got children in school. All right, that's my card base. I have a shaded spruce mat. This is 4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to put that there. Then I have this specialty paper, and this is from the Joyful collection, and this paper is stunning. Y'all seen me use it before. I've used on one of the cards I made. I used that green piece. This is the piece I used today with the musical notes, and there's some with some holly leaves and berries. That's beautiful. It is, and then you got this wood grain and gold, which is stunning as well. You get 2 sheets of each design, and you have 4 designs. So it is really a pretty pack of paper, and it is considered a specialty paper because of the gold embossing on it, and it does feel like it's embossed. So we're going to lay this down, and whenever you're doing paper with musical notes, one thing that I have learned that drives musical people crazy if you put it on upside down. And I don't read music, but I do know enough. I'm glad they put that little what is that, ampersand? I don't know. I don't know the terms for it, but anyone that reads music will know. And with that being there, I know that this is in the right direction. Now I have a piece of gold, and I cut this at 4 by 4, and we are going to cut out using those deckled circles. And if you count from the outside in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's 7 and 8. If you count down that way, I'm not going to confuse you. Count from the largest end, and it'll be your 7 and 8 deckled circle. And you can always go back and look at the video and be able to see which ones I used. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this down about like that, and then I want to center this one inside of it. Oh, you know, I used the next size for that one. Sorry, y'all. Go and get the next smaller one. I want a larger frame around that because I want to know I've got enough. Now, I'm stingy because if I wasn't stingy with my gold paper, I would just cut that one out and then cut my white circle and put it and glue it on top. But because I'm stingy with my gold paper, I'm going to lay that next smallest one to this one. Save that one because we're going to cut our white out of that. And again, here's the card. And it looks like I put that whole circle down, but I didn't. I cut the frame. That still left me that gold circle in the middle, so I didn't waste the whole piece of paper with it being covered up. So, hey Tina, welcome in. I look up every so often and I'll see a name. So if you come in and I don't see your name, please know that I welcome you in. Kathy Duncan, welcome in. So I just happened to look down and I saw those two names. So welcome into my craft room and what we're doing today. I'm so glad y'all are here. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. I need all of the likes I can get. Now I'm going to lay this over top of this because I want to try to make sure I'm getting an even frame. And this, anytime you put a circle inside of a circle and run it through the die machine, you are going to get I gotta move some stuff out of my way. And if you have questions, just let Jennifer know you have a question. And I have her in my ear. She's on a phone call with me, so she always lets me know if someone has a question or concern or whatever. Since I have my electric die cut machine right here, I'm going to use it. And that's the only reason I'm using it, because normally I'd bring up my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. But since this is already sitting here, I'm just going to go ahead and use it. And it makes it a lot easier, and I'll just run that through. Hopefully it's not too loud for y'all. Then I'm going to take that other one and I'm going to put it down on that piece of white. That's also a 4x4. And I chose the 4x4 because it was easy. And we are going to take this up like that. And see that frame? That's what we're going to use. I'm going to save this for another card. So I'm just going to stick that over there out of my way. And then this piece right here will just become trash. Now, in reality, I could save this because if I was trying to cut some little ornaments for the Christmas tree or something, I could cut those off of the corner. Who knows? Maybe I'll keep it. You know, I'm one of those people. I am a pack rat. That was one reason why it was so daunting of a task when we had to clean the den out for the new furniture coming in, because my husband and I both seem to have a pack rat tendency. And my husband is one of those, when he'll bring stuff out of the garage to use in the house, and it ends up in the den. Jennifer can attest to that. So we always have these issues with, where does this go? This needs to go back in its place. Now, I'm not like that so much in my craft room. I like my craft room to be organized so I know where everything is. All right, as you can see, our card is starting to come together, because now this piece is going to get glued on top of this. And you're probably thinking, how are you going to do that without getting glue all over everything? That is what happened with this one, why I don't want to give this one away. I put glue dots around it, and my glue dots are sticking out. And I have tried to push them back in, but they're still showing enough that I wouldn't feel good about giving this card away. So that was the only reason I'm not giving that one away. But I'm going to try something a little different. I'm going to try using some Stampin' Seal just around the outer edge of this. And I'm going to get that. Jennifer, I don't know if I put the silicone craft sheet on there or not. This is an afterthought. But I'm going to use my silicone craft sheet on this. And I'm going to see if I can put just a tiny bit, and I'm going to pull it in. I'm thinking, because it's not going to matter if it's hanging over inside, we're going to glue it down anyway. So I'm going to come about to here and just see if I can put a little bit of Stampin' Seal all the way around. Just enough to tack that frame in. And if I have some of it hanging out, I can always use my little Xyron eraser and I think that might work. But before I do that, I want to do my stamping on this. So we're going to grab that little Jolly Words, and I'm going to pick out my stamp that says Joy. And I just thought this was so stinking cute with the little elves and their hanging ornaments on the wreath, and they are just, you know, they're having fun. They're decorating for Christmas. Everybody loves to decorate for Christmas, I think. I think everybody does. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put that down about where I think it should go. And I'm debating on whether I want to use a stamp positioning tool. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go rogue. And I'm just going to pick this up and try it like this. The first one I did, this one I actually stamped it in VersaFine Onyx Black. But I want to use alcohol markers. This one I didn't use alcohol markers. I used the Stampin' Right markers. And I'm gonna, on this one, I'm gonna use my Memento, and we're gonna do some alcohol markers. I do have my VersaFine Onyx Black right there, but we're gonna try this. And I did re-ink this, so let's hope I don't make a mess. You know, you can usually tell when you're inking those solid letters whether you're going to get a good impression or not. And I hope I do. Alright, let's try this and see what happens. Hope for the best. Everybody cross your eyes and your toes and your nose and your fingers. I'm just going to give some nice pressure on that and just hold it. I just realized I didn't put my rings on. I don't normally wear my rings around the house because I usually got my hands in soap and all kinds of stuff, and in here in the craft room I just don't usually have my rings on. And I meant to put them on before my live and totally forgot. And if you're wondering what happened to my finger, that was an injury from moving the furniture. I got almost like a little blood blister there where one of the couches got hung with my finger in between it. So... oh, not too bad. I'm pleased with that. You know why I'm pleased with it? Because if you get the black Stampin' Right marker, and this is the only one they sell individually, if you get this, you can actually go back and any of the spots that you see that's not completely filled in, you can just kind of paint them, and that will, it will fill it in. Oh, kind of messed that one up. Maybe I want to stamp it again. We're going to go with it. You know what I always say, a homemade card is not a perfect card. It's just got a lot of love in it. Because we know that we're not perfect, and we don't do perfect. We do the best we can. And sometimes that means we have some flaws, but you know, it happens. Okay, before I get that, I'm getting ahead of myself. I want to grab my alcohol markers, and we're going to just start coloring these. And I have some Shaded Spruce, some Grainy Apple Green, and Real Red. And I think those are the colors that we're going to use on this card. So the first thing I want to do is I think I want to go in with that, with the green on the wreath. And I'm going to go in with my light. And I'm going to use the bullet tip because, what did I do with my little readers? I do have a little pair of readers I put on when I'm coloring. Because... and I'm just going to kind of scribble in here just ever so often because I want to come back and put in some dark. Okay, like that. Now I'm going to come back with my dark greeny apple green. I'm just going to put a little bit of color in here, like this. Just a little bit of that, just to give it a little contrast. Because you know, when you buy a wreath, it's all different shades of green. Now this is my dark green, shaded spruce. And I'm going to come back and just fill in some of these other little places. Hopefully my head's not in the camera. My husband will be home shortly. He got off at 2, but I think he's going to be working in the garage again while I'm doing the live. He had some things out there that he wanted to take care of, so he said he would stay out of my hair. What do y'all think? I like that. I think that looks really good. Then we're going to come back with some real red. And, you know, what is a Christmas tree without some red ornaments? So I'm going to put red here. And here, maybe red up there, and right there. And now I need to decide what other color do I want. I think I'm gonna do, you know what, I got a blue. I'm gonna do some blue. So I'm gonna put some blue at the top of this one. Anytime you're doing small areas with your Stampin' Blends, because they do spread. Hey Kathy, welcome in. Glad you're here. Hey Susie, welcome. So if you just tap the color on, it won't spread and get out of line like it does. You just want to barely tap it in. And that's a free tip for today. Alright, so we got that done. Now we need to decide what color we want our little elves to be. I'm going to take my dark real red, and I'm going to start off with this one, and I want that red around her hat, like that. And I want her little shirt to be red. Now, these are tiny little images, so they can be a little bit of a challenge to color, but not real bad. Something like that. Now I want his hat to be all red, so I'm going to go ahead and come in, and I'm going to draw some lines just to kind of define. Stay inside, you know, make your line inside if you possibly can. And then I'm going to come back with some light red. And I'm just going to kind of fill that in. I love the Stampin' Blends. They're so smooth. I think they just look much better than the darker ones. Alright. So now I'm going to take a light shaded spruce, and I'm going to do his little shirt. I'm calling this one a boy and the other one a girl. It might be the opposite, or they might be both boys and they might be both girls. I'm not sure of their orientation, but it's okay. They're elves and they're cute. That looks really, really cute. Then I'm going to do her hat the same color, green. Oh, Susie, I'm glad you got the card, and I'm glad you liked it. Thank you for letting us know. I appreciate that. So I'm going to make this little ball red. And then we're going to do the other one green. And there is our little picture. Now the only thing we need to do is their little arms and face needs to be, they need a little color. So I'm going to go in with this bubble bath, and this is the light bubble bath. And I'm going to color in, just give them a little pink glow in their little arms. Now this is where you really want to be careful because that's where that ink can really spread. There's my husband. I just heard the garage door open. I may have to get up and close my door, or he might come in and close it for me. But then if I know my puppies, they're going to be wanting in and out because they have to greet him when he comes home from work. Alright, now we got that colored. Let's go ahead and sit it down on our gold piece. About, you know what? I probably should not have done it the way I did it. But you know what? Too late now. So I'm going to pop that in about like that. Yes, I got a little bit of glue right there. I think that's the only place that any's hanging over. So where is my little Xyron eraser? And I'm going to try to erase that little bit of glue right there. Not it'll stick to the envelope, and we don't want that. Probably what I should have done was put the glue on the white piece. That's what I should have done. So when you're making this card, make sure, if you decide to replicate this card, make sure you put the glue on your white piece, not your gold. That would have been much smarter. That hindsight, it's always 20/20. Alright, I'm going to pull those little boogers off. I try to keep my Xyron eraser clean by pulling the gunk off of it as I use it. But you know what? That is the neatest little tool to have. And if you don't have one, I do have an affiliated link on the description below this video where you can pick up one if you need one. Everybody needs one of those in their craft room. Oh no, look what I did. I put my marker in ink. That's okay. I got an alcohol wipe over here. No, this is a Xyron adhesive eraser. The Mono Sand eraser will actually take the ink off of paper. The Xyron adhesive eraser will get adhesive off of places it don't need to be. Hey Tina Simpson, welcome in. Alright, so I got that. Let me cover this ink pad up before I do make a bigger mess than I already have. Y'all know that an ink pad around me is a dangerous thing. Okay, so now that we've got that together, let's go back over here and we are going to try out that Precision Press ink press. So many were wanting to know what did I think of it, and I had been looking at it, but I was on the fence, and then when y'all all wanted to know, I thought, okay, that gives me a reason to buy it. Not that I need an excuse, but I thought, you know, I need to try this out and see what I think. And you can see it puts the glue down really well, and you've always got a place to sit your glue where it's not going to clog on you. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself, y'all. Let me put this on this piece. About like that. And press it down. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the back of this. I'm just going to put some more glue on here. I like to do circles of glue. And the reason I do circles, some people just draw straight lines, but you know when you press your paper against another piece of paper, the glue is going to ooze, and this way it will ooze to the edges, and that's exactly why I do that. It's just one of those things that I've been doing ever since I've been making cards. But again, I always say, you do what works for you. Alright, so now we're ready to put this little piece down, and I want to pop this up on some dimensionals. So I'm going to grab my regular size dimensionals, and I'm going to press them right over top of this all the way around. I'll probably put a couple in the middle too, just to kind of stabilize it. I think I may start back next week and do some maybe birthday, anniversary, get well cards, something like that, just to kind of take a little bit of a break away from the Christmas. But it's only going to be for a tiny reprieve, because I definitely want to keep showing y'all all the pretty stuff in the new catalog and what my take on it would be. So, and if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would absolutely love to earn your business. Or if you've been thinking about coming into Stampin' Up!, I would love to be able to help you with that as well and welcome you on my team. So let's put this down right about here. Y'all hear Toby, he's playing with his squeaky toy. He's letting his daddy know that he's there and he is not going to be ignored. He goes and grabs a toy when he comes in. So that's just one of his little things that he does. Alright, the last thing that we need to do for this card is this little banner, our bow and our sequins, and then of course our inside. So, oh, and I got glue or something on the end of my finger. Okay. Alright, I'm going to close these dies up because I'm done with this set. And I'm going to set those in the back of my... I did pull a Merry Christmas from a different stamp set, and this one is the Berry Cute. And I think I might have used this once before. The Berry Cute, and I grabbed that Merry Christmas off of there because I wanted just a Merry Christmas under there. And I'm going to use my Shaded Spruce ink for this because I just think it'll be pretty. And I've got a small piece of, this was just a scrap that I pulled out of my scrap bin, and I'm going to stamp this first and then die cut it. I like to do that first because I think it's much easier. I think I told y'all that in a previous video. It's much easier to stamp and then die cut than it is to try to get your image into the die cut. Because if you get it crooked on here, you can very easily get the die to fit around it and still make it look like it wasn't crooked. So that's my reasoning for that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab the largest banner die out of my Stylish Shapes, and I'm going to lay that down over top of my Merry Christmas. Just like that. And I am going to use one of my little Post-it flags just to hold that in place. And I'm going to lay that down like that and put my plate over it. And again, yeah, Toby he was having a hissy fit in there playing with his toys. He always has to go and grab a toy when Dennis gets home because he knows Dennis is going to play with him. So it's funny how they learn those things so easily. I mean, they're not taught. It's just instinct for them to do that. Precious babies. I think our lives would be very empty without Toby and Bella. Bella, oh, she must be in there too because I don't see her. Alright, let me lay that back over here. And now all we need to do is pop this up on some dimensionals and put that right there. And you can see how easy and this card is coming together. It's not a hard card to make at all. Just some stamping, a tiny bit of coloring, and some shapes with the right paper, and you've automatically got a beautiful, beautiful Christmas card. And again, like I said, I think with the elves on it, it makes it very whimsical looking. I just thought it was super cute. And I'm going to drop that right about there. Give it a press. Now I need to look on the inside and decide what I want to do on the inside. Now this is something when I use a tone on tone, and I've got a piece of white, and this is 4 by 5 1/4, and anytime that I use that, I like to take my trimmer, and this is just something that I do. I don't know that I've ever seen anybody else do it, not to say they haven't, but I like to line it up on the 1/4 inch, grab that score blade, and I like to score a 1/4 inch on all 4 sides, just to give it a little bit of a definition. I think when it's a tone on tone, it just really makes it, it just makes it stand out a little bit more. And it kind of gives it a frame without having a frame per se. So now, I'm going to stamp my inside sentiment. And I think on the inside I did, yeah, I did. I did 'Tis the Season. Here it is. And I'm going to stamp that in the memento as well, because I'm going to color that little ornament that is in the place of the O in season. So I think that'll be cute. So I'm going to grab, I think I might need a bigger block. These are nice large images, so you probably will need a bigger block for those. So here we go. Let's hope we get a good image on this. And like I said, I did re-ink my memento earlier today. And I'm going to stamp kind of up to the top because I want to leave room at the bottom for signing. And again, I'm going to put pressure on that. Trying not to rock it. Yes, please let Jennifer know if you want to be in the drawing. If you have not already let her know, please let her know now, because this is going to be, as soon as we start on the next card, then it's going to be the last call. And I'm going to try this again. I'm going to use the bullet tip this time, because I am seeing a few little places in here that did not ink. And if I'd have used my stamp positioning tool, I probably would not have had this, because I could have stamped it twice. And you know, we could leave it and say, oh, it was meant to be like that. All right, let me grab some reds. I think I'm going to do, that's the dark, I want the lighter red. I'm going to do the inside of the ball. Do that red like that. And then underneath here is going to be red. And if you notice, I'm just kind of tapping my ink in. I'm not scrubbing the pen or the marker, because I don't want it to bleed outside of that line. That seemed to work pretty good. So I'm going to come in, I think I'm going to do the light shaded spruce, and I'm going to put my little line in here. Something like that. And then I think I'm going to take my smoky slate, and I'm going to make this look like it's a silver at the top of the little ornament. And then we can just go ahead and glue this inside of our card, and this one is done. So get my little glue thing again. Just like that. And then we're going to lay this down Even though it's tone on tone, you still want to try to get your borders as nice and even as you possibly can. And there is, oh, we're not done. We're not done. I've got this, this comes in a 2-pack, and this is an online exclusive, I believe. No, it's in the mini catalog. Thank goodness I put dots on them so I know where it comes from. This is in the mini catalog, and I'm going to tie a tiny little bow. I don't want anything real big. I want it to be very tiny. Something like, I always like to play with my bows a little bit and try to get them and I like to keep pulling my loops until I get it right about the size I want it. And then I really give it a good tug, and that kind of secures it. And I'm going to just grab my paper snips, and I'm going to snip it off right there and right here. Something like that. And then we're going to put that right there on a glue dot. Dresses it up quite a bit. And when I use a glue dot for a tiny bow like that, I like to take my take your pick tool and use my little pokey end and roll this up, because I want that to be very, very small. And then I'm going to put it right where I want that bow to go, and then I'm going to press it into the glue, that little glue dot. Alright, that is good to go. So now I need my sequins. And what did I do with those? I thought, oh, they're here. These are the same sequins I used last week. And I love those gold ones. I have not used the pink ones and the blue. Well, maybe I did use a couple of pink ones at some point. But I really do like those gold ones. And especially with this card, because I think it really does play well. I'm going to use a small one here, and maybe one right about here. And then I'm going to grab the larger ones, and I'm going to put one here and one right here. And then that card is done. So what do y'all think? Is that something that you would make? It was very easy and a lot of fun to do. And it, like I said, very whimsical. But I love the notes. I love the decorating on it. I thought it was just really, really pretty. Alright, I'm going to move on to my next card. And if y'all remember, the next one is done with the ho ho ho. So before I go any further, I am going to do one other thing. And that's clean my stamps. Y'all know I'm a stickler for that. So I've already had stamp cleaner on my Stampin' Scrub, so I'm just going to activate it with a little squirt of water. And then I'm going to clean up my stamps. I'm going to move these Stampin' Blends back over into my bin so they're not all over the place. Get all my pieces out that I'm going to need for this one. That gives me a better area to clean my stamp with. That was the main purpose of moving everything. Oh, thank you, Tina. I'm glad you liked that card. It was a fun one to make. I enjoy, you know, I have to really like a card to bring it to y'all. And sometimes I make 3 or 4 cards before I find one that I feel like is something pretty enough that I'd want to bring to y'all. So I'm very particular and very, I guess tedious would be the right word, of what I bring that I want y'all to learn how to do, or I want to teach y'all how to do. Alright, I'm going to bring it back in here. and this one back in here. And we're going to take out the Santa and the reindeer and the ho ho ho. I thought this was so stinking cute. So I'm going to set that down about there. Let's see if it'll fit better on one of these. Yep, I think that's better. A little bit longer, it takes up the space a little better. Now for this card, I have a card base that's in real red, but this one I cut it the opposite. I cut it, even though I'm going to fold it differently, I cut this at 11 by 4 1/4, and we're going to score this one at 5 1/2. It's still a half a sheet of paper, but I just cut it in a different format. So when you have a 8 1/2 by 11 sheet of paper, for anybody that's not a card maker, and I never know who's watching my videos, this is 8 1/2 by 11. If you turn it and cut it at 5 1/2, cut it in half at 5 1/2, and then score at 4 1/4, you have two cards that open like this or like this. Whereas the way I'm doing this one, let's score it and then I'll show you. I'm going to score it at 5 1/2. And now you'll have a top fold card or a side fold card. So now you can open the card like this to have the same size card as that one, and we call that portrait mode. Or you can turn it like this and have a side fold card. It's totally your preference. But it's just the two ways that we can take an 8 1/2 by 11 sheet of cardstock and cut two card bases from one. That seems to be why the A2 size card is so popular. You're not wasting any cardstock by doing that. You're getting two cards out of one. Now this paper here is the Snowflake Magic. And this is that pack. And this is the piece that I use. But look how, I mean, it is beautiful paper. This is the one that I chose. But we also have this piece. And they're one-sided because they are foils, and they are so pretty. They're single-sided, so they're white on the back. And then we have the silver on white, which is gorgeous. And that just looks like just a pattern. I think that'd be pretty as a snow scene. And you get three different designs, two of each. So 6 pieces of specialty paper in this pack. And it is stunning paper. And you know how we always say clothes makes the woman? I'm here to tell you, specialty paper makes the card. So I'm just saying, it really does dress up a card when you have specialty paper to put on it. So this piece is going to go down first, and this piece is this. I went ahead and cut this ahead of time. I used the scallop contour dies, and I used next to the largest. And this is where we're going to stamp our little Santa Claus on the sleigh. And we're going to stamp him kind of in the middle. And again, I might regret this. I wonder if I ought to use the stamp platform. We're going to go with it. We're going to go with it and hope for the best. That's what we've been doing all day. Now I know if I use the VersaFine, I could get a beautiful image the first time because it's a pigment ink. The Memento is a water-based ink. It's called a dye ink. And dye inks don't work with alcohol, and pigment inks, dye inks work with alcohol, but not water-based markers. And the VersaFine, being a pigment ink, if you put alcohol to it, it's going to move your color. It's going to move your ink. So that's why I chose the Memento for this. So once I get that on there, I'm going to give it a good press. I just saw a fly go by. I got a fly in my house. I'm not surprised with the furniture delivery yesterday, and the doors open, and I hate flies. Hey Brian, welcome in. So I'm going to press that in, and let's hope that we've got a good... Oh, I'm sorry that you had a stomach bug. I've been suffering with some stomach issues too, but I don't think mine was quite that bad. Okay, so there's our sleigh and our Santa and the whole 9 yards. So we are going to attempt to color this. So I'm going to bring out the markers that I used, and I did use the blue, and this is that Azure Afternoon, and this is the light. Both shades of the Real Red. The Pecan Pie for our reindeer, and of course our pink, because Santa's got to have some red cheeks. And we're also going to use the brown for our little Santa bag back there. So I'm going to start off first with Santa Claus, and I'm going to use my light Real Red, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to do my little tapping, because we got some very small areas here to color, like that. Then I'm going to come in and do his suit. And like I said, it's very tedious. Let me grab those little readers to make sure I'm not going out of my line. This is about the only time that I have to put on readers, is when I'm coloring. So I want to get that other arm over there, under his beard, and that's his hand right there, so I don't want to color that. And at the bottom of his suit, this looks like this might be his little Hanny sitting on the sleigh. And I'm going to color over here because I think that's his knee. Just like that. Then I'm going to come back in with that smoky slate, and this again is that same one. It's the light smoky slate, and inside the sleigh where those black lines are at, I'm going to color that gray, and right back here and right there, just to give that sleigh a little bit of little coloring on the inside. And then I'm going to take my dark Real Red, and I'm going to kind of outline my sleigh now. Now I want this bar across here to be dark, so I'm going to color it dark, the dark Real Red. And you see what I'm doing? I'm just drawing like a little line all the way around the sleigh, trying to make sure I stay off of that line. Like that, and then I'll put that little line there. And then I'm going to take, and I'm just going to do some little marks like that. And then we're going to let that dry just for a minute. I'm going to actually fan it. See, my head was in the camera. Sorry about that, y'all. Oh, Connie, Alicia lives up in Michigan, and she was without power for on and off a couple of days, where it was off for a good amount of time. She had texted me yesterday and said she was without power. After that dries a little bit, then I'm going to come back in, and I'm just going to blend those colors together. And this is what gives you that, like, highlights and lowlights. It makes it look like the light is hitting it in certain areas. And then there's our sleigh. So I wanted that to look a little bit different shade of red than his actual suit. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with a little bit of this bubble bath, and I'm just going to tap a little bit around his face. Because you know, if he's out in the snow flying that sled, he is definitely got a little windburn on his face, and he's got rosy cheeks. That's what I think. All right, I'm going to come in now with my light pecan pie, and I'm going to color the Santa bag. My husband was rather quiet. He came in and went back out, and I don't even think y'all heard him. You heard Toby, but I don't think you heard Dennis. All right, so I got that done, and then I want that little blue package right there just for some contrast. I just think that little blue package right there is really cute. Something like that. Now I'm going to go back in with that light pecan pie, and we are going to color our reindeer. Before I do that though, I'm going to take I'm going to wait and do it afterwards. I'm going to go ahead and color in the little hindquarters. And see what I mean? That's very tedious. Maybe I need to zoom y'all in just a little bit. This is a very, very tedious coloring, but you know what? I enjoy it. I think it's fun. I always like to challenge myself, so if you have not used alcohol blends on small areas, challenge yourself to give it a try. And just remember the technique that I'm teaching you. Just do little dots like that. It might not be perfect, but like I said, these are handmade cards. They're not supposed to be perfect. They're supposed to hold a lot of love. And I think the imperfections gives them character. Down like that. And let's go up here. I was going to color these ahead of time, and then I thought, no. So many times y'all say, I enjoy watching you color, so I'm going to go ahead and carry on with it. And makes the video a little bit longer, but it's not like everybody has to go and grab lunch now like it is when I did them at 12. I think we have a little bit more wiggle room. So now we got one more, and then we're gonna, oh, I forgot his body over here. How did I forget that? And we're gonna do this one. Alright, now I want to grab my dark pecan pie, and we're going to do his antlers, their antlers. I'm sure glad he's only riding with 4 reindeer tonight, because I would hate to have all 8 of them to color. We would have needed a bigger card. I'm going to come down his leg right there. I'm sorry, sometimes I get very quiet when I'm coloring. It's my concentration, I guess. And like I said, this is a bit tedious, but it's doable. Now, Jennifer just asked me a question. She wants to know which reindeer am I coloring, and I don't know. I'm not sure which one Santa brought out this night, but I don't see Rudolph. Must not be a foggy Christmas Eve. I'm just taking my black Stampin' Right marker, and I'm going in where the lines for the harness are, and I'm just going to kind of color in the harness black to kind of look like the reins. Then I'm going to go back and right on the tip of the nose and their eyes and their hooves. And I think we're done with that. What do y'all think? My bifocals always make my head hurt. I think they're rather strong. So all we're going to do for this one is we're just going to put this on here. And I popped up on this one I popped up the specialty paper, but I glued this directly down. I think on this one I'm going to do it the opposite. I think I'm going to glue this one straight down. Make sure my card, yep, it's opening on the right side. I'm going to lay this in right about here. And then we're going to put dimensionals on the back of this. Something like that. And then I'll put a couple in the middle just to stabilize everything. And then I'm going to pick these all off. And then we're just going to set this right down in the middle. Give it a little tap, and all we got left to do for this one is to go ahead and put in our sentiment. And this one I did do just a white on the red. So I have a card base a mat already cut, so we need to stamp it. And for that one I used from the St. Nicholas, I used May the Christmas season fill your home with joy, peace, and love. So I put that up underneath it like this, and we're going to stamp that using the VersaFine Onyx Black. So right about here. Now we'll give that some nice even pressure. Pretty. Pretty, but that's still got a lot of ink on it, so I'm going to make sure I lay it somewhere where it doesn't get into anything, because I don't want to make a mess. It looks like I already did. This is where the Mono Sand Eraser comes in. That's right, I got it over here now. I kind of rearranged my desk a little bit earlier today, and I'm having to reach in different spots for stuff. And you know, we're all creatures of habit, so where we're used to reaching, that's where we'll reach back for. But see, that took that little spot of ink right off. So now I can go ahead and put some glue on the back of this. And while I'm finishing this up, if Jennifer wants to get ready with the drawing, we'll go ahead and get that underway. And when your name is called or announced in the chat, if you will please respond. The first winner will get to pick their choice of which one of these cards they want, and then the second winner will take the one that's left over. So that's kind of the way we do it here. All right, so there is both of our cards. Oh, that's the one I made earlier. This is the new one. Okay, there we go. There are both of our cards. Y'all let me know which one y'all like. I thought I had glue on my fingernail, but I have taken a complete chip out of the end of my nail. And of course my fingers are inky, and I got glue all over them, and I got markers all over them. Thank you, Brian. Thank you so much. Thank you all for your beautiful compliments. I appreciate y'all so much. Yes, I do too. Kathy, I do too. We all need to believe in Santa Claus. You know what I used to always tell my kids at Christmas? Santa is the spirit of giving. And, you know, God was the one that gave us that ultimate gift when he gave us Jesus. And that's why we celebrate this beautiful and wonderful holiday. So, all right. So, Jennifer, if you're ready for the drawing, our first winner is Jennifer Rial. If you'll type her name in, Jen, and let her know she's the winner. And Jennifer, if you will respond and let us know whether you want card 1 or 2. And I'm going to get a pencil so I can write her name. You want the reindeer one. Okay, so this one is for Jennifer. Congratulations. And now we have this one left over. So this is a consolation prize, y'all. And the winner for this one is Susan Causey. Congratulations. So we don't have to worry about this one because we know that this one is going to you. So congratulations to both Susie and Jennifer. Thank y'all so much for being a part of my crafty family, for all of y'all being here today, for all the thumbs up and the likes and the comments, and just thank you once again so much. I do appreciate each and every one of you so very much. Thank you for coming and being here. And Marlene, I hope your doctor's appointment gets rescheduled real soon, but not on a Friday. I'm just kidding. We have to take those appointments when we can get them. But if we always miss you. If I think you're not going to be here, I miss you. I did announce earlier that you and Phyllis were not going to be here today. But anyway, congratulations to our winners. And as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Savior, our Father, our Lord and our Master. And as soon as I find a mouse, I'm going to switch this back over to me. If I can get it to work. There it goes. Almost. My mouse does not like, there we go. My mouse does not like my glass mat at all. It needs a mat. But I want to thank y'all so much for being here. And like I said, let the things that you do and say reflect a Christ-like attitude. It's so important today. The times that we live in, everybody's ugly to everybody, it seems like, and we need to project the love of Christ to other people so that they can see Christ in us, and hopefully through that come to know him like we know him. I love you guys so much. I hope you have a fabulous weekend. It's supposed to rain here the whole weekend, but you know what? It is what it is. I'll just stay in the den, watch some old bonanzas, and enjoy my new furniture. God bless and keep you. And until next time, y'all take care. I love you. Mwah. Bye-bye.